Hi, I'm Jan Bauer, the artist of this glass sketch, and I'd love to take a few minutes and walk you through the creation of this drawing. I used a charcoal pencil and I started with a simple line drawing with basic shapes in mind. I wanted to get the proportions right, and I also wanted to make sure that the glass was drawn high enough on my paper to leave room for that reflection. Then I refined the lines to make them more exact and detailed. I shaded in the glass, dark in some areas, and mid-tone in others. I left some areas of the glass lighter so I could show where the light was reflecting off the glass. Then I used a paper stump to blend the charcoal. Using a paper stump makes it very easy to create a smooth-looking surface. It also works really well for blending darker areas into lighter areas. On the areas that I kept light, I used a white pencil to emphasize the highlights, and they showed up very nicely since I was drawing on off-white paper. I continued shading, paying very close attention to the different variations of shades, dark, midtones, and light. Knowing what I know about reflection, I measured and marked where I wanted the reflection spots, and these marks guided me as I drew the reflection. A reflection will always lie vertically between the object, in this case the glass, and the bottom of the paper. It will be the same width as the object and will always, of course, appear upside down. I added a bit of blue to the reflection and to the glass to make them stand out a little bit more, and also to give them a look of being connected with each other. I drew lines that came together higher up on my paper to create a look of distance and to make the glass look a little bit more three-dimensional. Then I filled in that background following the direction of the lines, and once that was done, I blended the charcoal in the same direction and then again re-emphasized those original lines. From here on out, I bounced around, refining whatever needed a bit more work, touching up shadows and highlights, and oh yeah, adding that drip. I actually drew that water droplet, and then I replaced it with a glass droplet attached to a magnet. With another magnet attached to a ruler under the paper, I was able to move that droplet wherever I wanted it. It was pretty simple, and it also added another fun touch to the drawing process. If you've ever thought that you might enjoy learning to draw, then good for you. Drawing is fun, relaxing, easy to learn, and a wonderful life skill to have. I've made it possible and easy for you to learn this skill in the comfort of your own home with a course called Drawing Success. Drawing Success is a DVD course that teaches teens and adults how to draw well. As a portrait artist, book illustrator, and art instructor, I often hear people say, "I can't even draw a stick figure, let alone something good." Well, I'm here to say, yes they can. Drawing Success is a systematic progression of 36 lessons that students can take at their own pace. As they follow the step-by-step demonstrations, they'll learn dozens of essential principles and get lots of encouragement along the way. We'll learn to draw by association, and by that I mean looking at an object and determining what basic shape it closely resembles. In order to make a cube, you do a square first, and then you bring the edges in towards each other. And then a line down. Body value, reflection, this area here, and our highlight. I've had the privilege of teaching many students who felt very unsure about their drawing ability, and after learning drawing principles and techniques, they became thrilled with what they could draw.
I liked to draw when I was a kid, but I couldn't make them look how I wanted or make them look very good. And Mrs. Bauer, the guidelines that she gives, if you do them every time, every picture looks awesome. They're pictures that I look at now that I have done through the class, and it's like I surprise myself, with how cool they are. It has been so much more fun to draw, not being so scared that it won't look the way I want.
One-point perspective is when all of the parallel lines we're using lead to only one vanishing point. We don't set a circle on a circle. We overlap those circles. I grab the top of my pencil because remember, when we do a branch, we don't want it to be perfect. We want it to be kind of jagged. Students not only learn the principles of drawing, but they'll learn the whys and the hows behind each principle. With this understanding and practice, they'll find that they can draw nearly anything well.
No matter what your skill level is, it's easy to understand if you're really good, if you're just beginning. No matter where you're at, it takes you up farther than you were.
Be careful to render it with those little ripples in there, just to make it look a little more authentic. When you do the hair on this tail, make sure you don't come in from the back. Come from the back end of the horse and drag it out. Using my erasing shield now will help me to really clean this up and to brighten up any highlights that may need it. After nearly 20 years of teaching, I'm very excited about giving many more emerging artists, young and old, a solid foundation in drawing, which is essential in preparing them for other art mediums as well. Your Drawing Success package comes with 36 lessons on 10 DVDs, a 176-page, easy-to-use lesson book, and a handy photo reference booklet. It's my hope that this course will be used for education, for enjoyment, and especially for making a difference in this world.
I think you'll amaze yourself with how just good it is and how much you'll grow through this.
I'd love to have you follow along with Drawing Success.